Hello, everybody. Hello, friends, and happy International Tabletop Day 2022. Welcome to a very special session of the Ironhearts Tomb of Annihilation, which I am calling the IronKarts, where our usual gang of nerds and creatives play something similar to Dungeons & Dragons. I am Captain Zach, the GM for our bi-weekly ongoing home campaign turned broadcast. Thank you for joining us on this special one-off session. And tonight's session is live on Twitch. Please follow us on Twitch. We are only a few follows away from our goal. Talk to each other and our producer Semantics in Twitch chat. You can join our grassroots community on the Nerdcrafty Discord. Check out some other cool stuff we have there, like the discussion panels we just did. And after the stream, you can drop me a line with the email address, ironhearts@nerdcrafty.com. I'm here with my best friends, the majority of the players for the Ironhearts. Weston.
Weston?
Hey, how's it going?
Introduce yourself for me, please.
Yeah, how's it going? I'm Weston Leiball, actor, artist, musician. I am Pip Ponderowski tonight. He's gonna be racing around all of Midgard. It looks like. I'm pretty excited for this one. Oh, Ronnie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, my friend?
No, at this point I refuse. Hi, I'm Ryan. I'll be, I assume, playing Julian in what usually resembles D&D around here. Yeah, no pluggables. I think I'm going to send it over to Matt. Machu? He muted. What a...
Did someone call my name?
I did.
Thank you, Ryan. Hi, this is Matt, your resident dead weight. I will be trying to be funny and failing miserably, but I can't wait to try out this fun game.
And we've also got Ronnie with us.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Ronnie, and I'm ready to play some D&D.
So be sure to check out our other Nerdcrafty productions, like our latest podcast, Ignore the Bird, Follow the River, where we discuss Willow, the movie, the TV show, the teaser trailer that just dropped. The latest episodes are our best yet. We've talked to Willow sourcebook writer Alan Varney, and we've also got some Willow teaser reactions and breakdowns on the Nerdcrafty Network YouTube. Nerdcrafty creators like myself are available for hire. Visit nerdcrafty.com to get in contact with us for more information. But that's enough announcements for now. Again, thank you for joining us live or otherwise. Let's get to the madness that is tonight's episode of The Iron.
Zach, did you just imply we have dead viewers?
Did I what?
Did you just imply we have dead viewers?
Hey, I'll take all the viewers I can get. I'm
Okay,
not biased. So what is the IronKarts? The IronKarts is the Iron Car Tournament. Tonight's game is inspired by Speed Racer, the TV show, and the Wachowskis film, not only for tone and theme and melodrama, but also for the actual race. We'll also be borrowing from other race media, like the video games Super Mario Kart, Roll Cage, and Twisted Metal, as well as films like Mad Max and the Gumball Rally. You can find these rules, house rules that were inspired by You Awaken in a Strange Place on the Nerdcrafty website tomorrow from this live broadcast. So during the latest rest period of our usual Tomb of Annihilation campaign, the Ironhearts are congregated in a tiny hut, slumbering and dreaming. And as you snore, your subconscious mixes with the magic of Chult into a surreal dream in which you are participating in a race tournament. Tonight, the Ironhearts are the IronKarts. In this competitive race, you will race against opposing NPC racers with unique weapons-equipped custom vehicles on an obstacle course across Midgard, for a prize that you will take with you into the usual Ironhearts Tomb of Annihilation game. Now, players, you have a bit of agency in this game tonight. I need you to answer the question, do you want to compete in an all-out race where you compete against each other and other races, or other racers, or do you want to race on a team against the other teams of racers? So, I'll start with...
Team.
Okay, I've got 2 votes for teams, so...
Make that 3.
All right.
All for one. All for one.
You know what? I'm just going to be contrarian and say competitive.
All right, thank
Get out of
you.
here.
My
Yeah,
opinion
right.
counts.
You can write your dissenting opinion after the broadcast.
I
So,
see the skilled people are advocating for competition, and the people who some declared themselves dead weight are asking for team.
Yes.
And something I noticed.
Team Deadweights, you are all working together. And the first thing and all of the drivers and vehicles and locations are inspired by the Ironhearts collective subconscious, your past, your present, and speculative futures.
Yarr.
So to create the IronKarts version of your character, you will need to determine modifiers for your 4 abilities that you should see on your new character sheets. On the right-hand side, you can ignore all of the traditional D&D abilities. Those should all be 0. You should see a handling stat, a speed stat, a drive stat, and a durability stat. Handling is used for cornering. Speed is used for acceleration and top speed. Drive is going to fuel your special abilities. It's kind of a courage and luck type stat. And your durability will be your toughness and will calculate your HP. You will also be creating 3 other abilities, but you will not need to choose what numbers are placed there. You will create a flaw, and you will create 2 unique specials to overcome other racers and the course itself. So on your character sheet, you should be able to, when you hover over handling, you should see a little gearbox in the top right corner. If you hover over speed, you should see a gearbox in the top right corner. And you'll see the to hit spot is blank. And you're going to divvy out a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1 amongst your handling, speed, drive, and durability. Now, if you've already got those in mind, just based on those names of the abilities, go ahead and do so. But if you are a little hesitant or want to know more, then listen to me, and then you will fill those out momentarily. So an ability of 4 provides a +4 to your 2d6 dice roll. A 3 provides a +3, and so on. If you prefer, you may distribute 10 points among your 4 traits instead. For example, a 3, a 3, a 3, and a 1, or a 3, a 3, a 2, and a 2. But we want to get to gameplay as soon as possible, so just go with your gut instinct. So speed is going to be your vehicle's... Go ahead.
Oh, I was asking about what drive was, but you're clearly just explaining that, so go ahead. Go nuts.
Yes. So speed is your vehicle's power, acceleration, and top speed. It's great for straightaways, climbing hills, burnouts, accelerating from a stop. Speed tests are initiated at the start of the race and along straightaways. If you fail a speed test, you fall behind in the race order. And the course is evenly divided between an equal number of straightaways and corners. Because when you go around a corner, or whenever you go around difficult or drive over difficult terrain, you will be using a handling check. And if you fail a handling check, you fall behind in the race order. Your durability is going to be your stamina, your safety, your health. You test your durability when outside forces conflict with your vehicle, such as someone shooting a missile at you, or shooting a machine gun, or leaving a mine, etc., etc. If your durability is overcome, you reduce your HP by 1. Your HP is equal to 4 plus your durability, and there'll be a little separate cog that you have to use to fill that out. So we'll get to that in just a moment. If you fall to 0 HP or less, you go to last place instantly. You still get to compete in the race, you just fall to the end. Your vehicle gets repaired, etc. Drive.
Comes and puts you back on the track. Got it.
You'll see. Drive is your courage. It's your luck, and it's your ammunition for your super special. So this is great for risky or reckless driving, and it's great for using spells and special powers. Drive is a resource that you can expend once per turn to do one of two things. You can gain advantage on a dice result, so you re-roll the dice result and take the highest result, or to activate your super special, which is going to be detailed further below. So the maximum number of drives you may expend for super specials is equal to your drive. If you have 1, you can use it once, and then it has to get replenished before you can use it again. The way you replenish your drive is to activate your flaw. So if you're coming up on a speed test and your speed is +3, your flaw is a -2. If you use the flaw instead of your speed, regardless of whether you succeed that part of the track and fall behind or go ahead in the race order, you will regenerate 1 drive. Does anyone have any questions about handling, speed, durability, or drive?
Not yet.
I think I'm
Right?
good.
Yeah, which one is the most overpowered?
Potentially drive, because it gives you rerolls, but if you're constantly failing your speed and handling checks, or if your durability isn't high enough and you keep falling to the back of the race, ideally all of these abilities are equally used and equally powerful. Drive is the one that leaves the most to chance, or eliminates chance depending on your outlook. It fuels your super specials, but if you don't have speed or handling, you're not going to make it through the race either. And if your durability is low, you're going to be constantly falling to the back of the line. So distribute a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1. You do that by clicking on the little gear right next to the ability, and then where it says to hit, you can just put in the corresponding number that you want to use.
Think I'm set. Just double checking.
Yeah, I got mine set already.
Yep.
Same. Good to go.
I do too. I'm picturing Julian as being sort of the Donkey Kong of this kart racing competition. Big and
some
fast.
durability.
Yeah, big and fast and durable, but
Well, now that you have those filled out, the next 3 things you're going to create are less about numbers and more about what is unique about your race, about your racer or your race car. Your flaw should be right underneath those 4 abilities. It automatically has a -2 applied to it. And this is your driver or your vehicle's fatal flaw. Whenever you would make a handling or a speed check, you may use your flaw instead to replenish 1 point of drive. And this is open to your imagination. You can have drinking under the influence, you can have road rage, you can have reckless driving, you can have distracted driving, you can be afraid of left turns, you can have cheap parts or poor manufacture in your vehicle. I leave it to your imagination, but ideally you can click on the little cog next to flaw, and it has a little paragraph where you can write down what you want it to be, or you can even just use a paper and pencil if you have that handy. But you want to keep track of your flaw so that it's consistent and lean into it whenever you need to replenish your drive.
Yeah.
In it-
No. I love it. I'm just gonna use Pip's like character flaw, man. When he gets
By all
nervous, man.
means.
When he starts getting anxious, he doesn't necessarily drive as well.
Julian
By
had
all
too much
means.
grog. That's
Mhm.
his flaw.
And Parashar and Bluegill Billy, if you want me to keep talking at you, I can go to the next spot, but I don't mind taking a couple minutes for you guys to ruminate on your flaw.
Oh, I know my flaw.
I know my
want me
flaw.
to
I'm
say
just
it?
writing it down.
Yeah, either write it down or say it. I'm
Okay.
sure it'll come up in play.
Well,
The next...
Copy me.
What's it?
I don't want anyone to copy me.
Okay. Is that your
Bluegill
flaw?
Billy's gonna.
Go ahead.
Bluegill Billy's driving like a lily pad car, so his flaw is that he's vulnerable to attacks. There's not a lot
Oh, I
of
love
defense
it.
on there.
Well,
That's
keep in
awesome.
mind... Okay, yeah, that works. Next, you must create a special power that you always have access to, regardless of your drive. So this weapon or power has unlimited ammunition, but has subdued results. It's a +1 bonus on the attack roll. So think of it as your default or signature power. On your turn, you will have the option of using your special, your super special, if you have enough drive, or any collected weapon boxes that you find on the race course. So if you are out of drive and you don't have any collected weapons, this special that you create will be your only option. When you are creating your special, you have two options: a special weapon or a special boon. A special weapon is going to target a single vehicle's durability. So, for example, a machine gun, a mine, a punch, or a small rocket. But you have to pick one of those. You must choose whether your weapon is limited to targeting the vehicle immediately in front of you, like a hood-mounted gun, a target immediately next to you, like a door-mounted spear, or a target immediately behind you, like a mine layer. So when you activate your special weapon, you'll click on the special that's on your character sheet. It will roll 2d6 plus 1. Your opponent will roll 2d6 plus their durability. And if you succeed the test, they will reduce their HP by 1. Alternatively, if you don't want a weapon, you may target yourself or an ally immediately in front, beside, or behind you to increase an ability the next time they use it. So when you create this power, you must decide whether your special boon is limited to increasing which stat: durability, handling, or speed. So for example, you might have a magic shield or a shield that provides +1 durability that you can target yourself or an ally with. You might have nitro that you can target yourself or someone next to you to give +1 speed. Or you might have a quick self-repairing tire kit that applies +1 to handling. But you have to decide which of those three, durability, speed, or handling, you want your boon to apply to. So where you have special on your character sheet or on a piece of paper that you have next to you, Write out what you want your special to be. First, determine if you want a special weapon, and then think about what kind of weapon you want it to be, or determine if you want a special boon, and think about what kind of boon in particular it is.
Just
And
special.
feel
We're not
free
going over super special, right?
we haven't gotten to our super specials yet. This is your
Okay.
default power. If you like, I will talk about the super specials right now so that you can decide which of the two you want ideas that you're having to be. Otherwise, I can just wait and you can create your default power first.
I feel like I've got my special figured out. So speaking for myself, I wouldn't mind going over the super special.
Yeah, I'm just writing out my special right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I've got a very thematic cart in mind, and that's kind of paving the way toward super fun powers.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, tonight it's a race.
Oh.
Literally, we're racing against time. It's a one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So.
Be creative
race.
faster!
Yeah, it's a race through and through. But yeah, your special power is something you will always have access to.
So
And it may not succeed as often.
can my regular special be shot like all around me, or is it just front,
One target.
rear? No, I just mean like can I, if I choose one target, do they have to be in front of me or behind me, or can I kind of like make my own decision in the moment?
You must choose whether it is hood mounted and targets people in front of you, whether it's like door mounted and targets one person to either side, or whether it's rear mounted and targets a vehicle behind you. Because throughout the race course, people will be moving in different positions. Sometimes a racer might be in front of you, sometimes they might be beside you, and sometimes they might be behind you. So you have to decide if you want your special to be a banana, a green shell, or a punch. To use Mario Kart terms. And you have to decide if it's going to attack an enemy racer or if it's going to provide a bonus to you or a racer around you. If you're choosing the boon, you do not have to limit it to front, side, or rear. Your boon can target any ally in front, beside, or behind you, or target yourself. But if you're choosing a weapon, you do have to decide if it's targeting front, side, or behind, and you can't change it.
Cool. I think I'm set.
All right, and Matt, you got an idea?
Yes, I have an idea.
Okay, so I'm going to keep talking at you. The last thing that you have to create is your super special power that you may not always have access to. It depends on how much drive you have. This weapon or power has limited ammunition, but more spectacular results. Think of it as your ace in the hole or your clutch weapon. On your turn, you will have the option of using your special, your super special, or any collected weapon boxes. So if you have enough drive to expend, this will likely be your best option. Using your super special consumes 1 drive. When creating your super special, first decide if you want one that is limited to targeting 3 cars in front of you, 3 cars behind you, or up to 3 cars, 1 in front, 1 beside, and 1 behind. So, Weston, you were talking about having something that targets everyone around you. Your super special can target 1 person in front and 1 person beside and 1 person behind you. However, your super special is a weapon, cannot be a boon. Then you can decide if you want your super special to be something that attacks durability, or if it's something that incurs a -4 penalty to your target's next handling or speed check. So, do you want your front super special to be a missile barrage, or do you want your front super special to be missiles that explode with ink or glue? Do you want your radius super special to just explode and reduce the HP if it's successful? Or do you want it to be something that surrounds you, that, puts ink or glue on the other racers? Or maybe you want a super special that targets vehicles behind bombs released from your trunk, or caltrips, which will, again, instill a penalty. So take a moment to think about your super special and what you want it to do, and then make sure you write that down either on a piece of paper or on the corresponding spot of your character sheet.
Hey, sorry, I think I missed a point. So my special can't be like an ink spray, because that was what I was planning on doing.
Your special will only be able to target the HP of an enemy or give a boon to an ally. So if you do an ink spray, it's just a damaging ink spray. So
Okay.
you can still have ink spray, but it's just going to deal damage. It's not going to blind them.
But I could do that with my super special.
Yes, your super special, if you do an ink spray, you just have to choose whether you want it to hit people in front of you, all around you, or people behind you. And if you're wanting it to hit all around you, you're looking at where it says radius, super special, and in parentheses it has handling or speed.
All right, I think I've got my mystery solved.
Cool. Okay.
And feel free to just write the flavor of what you want it to do, and I can fill in the blanks. Ideally, the character sheets are set up so that you can just push the button and the dice rolls will go accordingly. Now, one thing we haven't done yet is the hit points of your character. To adjust your hit points, you'll have to click on the little gear cog for the entire character. And you should some where it says, now where the formula is, I don't know if it's my roll 20, but the formula is 4 plus your durability. So whatever you set your durability to, where it says hit points, you will add 4 to whatever you set your durability to.
All right. I think I finally solved the puzzle. See?
Did you say I should be able to switch the type of damage to radial damage?
You mean on your character sheet, or you
Yeah.
mean in the character creation? Because on the character sheet, there's no damage spot. There's just a to hit.
Okay. But was there another place where I would want to put a radial attack for my super special?
You just want to write down what you want your super special to do. So, for instance, on Julian's, he has underneath special, it says adjust tack to larboard. Improves handling by adjusting the sail. And
Yeah.
then underneath super special, he has written tentacle slap. The cart messenger slaps 3 rival racers with its noodly appendages, damaging for their durability. So, Ryan, do you want the tentacle slap to be limited to racers in front of you, behind, or all around?
Oh, it's a radius thing, I thought. So I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going.
All right, so you just want to keep track of whether yours is front, radius, or rear, and either write it down or remind me when you use it. Does that help, Weston?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just making a note in the description that it's radial.
There you go. Perfect.
Cool. I'm set. I was going to do my flaw. I just have to write it in. I already thought of it.
Yep. And I do apologize. It is a race, but I'm having some technical difficulties this evening, so my computer is running a little bit slower than usual.
If only I had ordered the right RAM. I'm sorry, Zach.
We'll get there. We'll get there. So if you haven't adjusted your hit points yet, that will be the gearbox that's for the whole character sheet. And all you have to do is where it says hit points, add 4 to your durability and put that number down, or even on a piece of paper so that we can keep track of your current and max HP.
Mine already says +4 durability next to my hit points.
So that's the formula, and then next to hit points, you should be able to just do the calculation and punch in that number. So if your durability is 2, you can put a 6 there.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to click on the cog. I think it's in the top right for the character sheet to actually make the adjustment.
Oh,
So for my example, if I have +4 durability on my sheet, I should have 8 total in that hit points?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I'd like to
Oh.
discuss my super special to ensure that I'm not doing anything outlawed.
Please.
So my super special would be an ability that allows me to swap places with the person in first.
Definitely off the board. It is
Okay.
a weapon that attacks 3 racers in front of you, 3 racers around you, or 3 racers behind you. But I like your creativity.
Could it attack one racer 3 spaces ahead of me and swap places with them?
Nope.
Okay.
We're just under a race of time, so I will tell you, you might encounter that as a collected weapon from the course, hopefully, if you're lucky.
Cool. Okay, so it has to be an attack 3 in those dimensions you mentioned. Other than that, there's no like other things that we can do.
Correct.
Crystal clear.
So, Pip, appreciate it. So, Pip, Weston, I went ahead and made the adjustment. You can see if your durability is 2, I put a 6 in your hit, and the formula is 4 plus your durability, which is 2.
sorry about that. Thank you.
No worries. I'm explaining so that if someone else did the same thing, they can look at your sheet. So your special boon is Spectral Flight, which provides a boon to you or a racer right next to you. And your super special is the Radial Ink attack. And then you've got your flaw listed as well. Perfect. On the left-hand side of your character sheet, you don't need to click on anything there, but it tells you what you can do on your team. And I'll be going over all of that in more detail once I make a final check on everyone's character sheet. And then we can get to the actual race. But I think character creation can be fun. So thank you guys for following those parameters, putting in some abilities, and creating your own unique specials and flaws.
Oh, it was easy. I just thought about what Pip do and translated that into a game I'm insanely familiar with.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, we've all played Mario Kart, so I think that's the strongest influence here.
Yeah, we're all Mario Kart veterans.
Back in my day, all we had was Super Nintendo Mario Kart.
Mhm.
And the AI cheated. I tell you.
I remember those days.
And now you got your Switches and your Wii's. I just want to go back to my old NES.
Your double dash. So Billy looks good. So Billy, okay, perfect. All right. And then, okay. So Billy, the only thing to keep in mind is that your flaw is something you have to activate. If you're coming up on a corner and you're out of super specials, you want to generate more. Your flaw of being vulnerable is something you have to instigate as a story element, that your driving is poor because you're leaning into your flaw. So just keep that in mind. Since you put vulnerable to attacks, it doesn't quite work. So it's going to be up to you to kind of creatively navigate your flaw. It could be something that you never even use during the race. It's up to you guys whether you want to even use it.
Okay. Yeah, let me think a little more on that one.
Because being vulnerable to attacks is just having a 1 in your durability. That means you're vulnerable to it. And then, so Matt, I'm going to just fix your hit points. They go into the spot next to the calculation. So 4 plus durability, 8.
You just gestured to all of my character sheet, Zach.
Instead of, so 4 plus durability instead of 8 plus durability.
My mistake.
Okay, handling, speed, drive, durability. No worries, Pick did the same.
Oh,
Nice.
Under the bus.
Yeah. He'll find it's part of the giving you guys some character creation, but actually customizing the character sheet is a little bit different. In fact, I'm going into yours again, Matt. Your special will add instead of negating attacks, it provides a +1 to your durability. Your durability is kind of like your AC, but instead of being a static number, it will generate a roll. So when someone rolls to attack, you roll your durability. And if you used your special on that round, you'll have a +1 to that durability check.
Will I have the ability? So I'll have to use my special and hope somebody attacks me.
Essentially, yes. At the beginning or end of your turn, you'll use your special, but that doesn't get removed. It stays until the next time your durability is tested. So you get +1 on the next durability check.
Oh, good.
So even
okay,
if no
great.
one hits you, even if no one hits you, the shield is still up. But as soon as it gets hit once, the shield goes down, and you'll have to initiate it again.
Right.
And you can still, if you use it on yourself and you don't get hit, and you have a teammate next to you, you can use it on a teammate the next turn. It stays until a dice roll is generated, and it's up to you guys to keep track of whether you used your special on the last turn or not. So I think these character sheets look good. Let's go to the race rules. So you guys are somewhat familiar with the way I like to do a race or a chase on account of the Nyanzaru dinosaur races. So tonight, it's a race to the finish, literally, because tonight is a one-off where speed and improv is the theme in creation, execution, and finish. So ideally, on your turn, you will keep a fast pace and incorporate quick decision-making into the narrative, but I understand that we're all getting familiar with these rules that are particular to this one-off, so I'll be forgiving on that. So initiative. First place within the spatial awareness of the race is also first place in the turn order. So at the bottom of the map, you can see there's little squares, and those are first, second, third, fourth, etc. place in the race. And then we'll have a turn order that we keep track of based on where everyone ends their last round. So if you are in first place, you are also first in the turn order.
Interesting.
Portions, yes. So if you're in first place in the race, you're also first in the initiative order. If you're in last place in the race, you're also last in the initiative order. Portions of the course will allow for 2 racers to share or tie for their position, with the player characters, so the IronKarts, winning any of those ties, or just choosing amongst yourself who you want to go first in the turn or be slightly ahead, or even if it's 2 IronKarts, you can both be tied at exactly the same time in the race order. On your turn, you must do 3 things, starting with 3 things in any order, starting with succeed a handling or a speed check as dictated by the course. So before or after you make this driving check, you may use your choice from a special, a super special if you have enough drive, or a weapon box if you have collected any. Your driving check that you make, the handling or the speed check, has a DC or difficulty class that's determined by the player character or by the racer in first place. So the driver in first place of this chase determines how difficult it is to keep up with them or to pass them. You choose whether the DC is between 1 and 5. You're doing an easy pace. You're not pushing the limits of your driving abilities. If it's 6 through 9, then it's a little bit more difficult driving. It's a average difficulty. If you're in first place and you want to stay there and you're confident in your driving ability, you can set the DC to 10 or 11 or 12. And that's nearly impossible high risk with high reward driving. So the difficulty class is set by the lead driver and must be overcome by every racer, including the person who set that difficulty. And you must use a handling or a speed check to overcome that difficulty unless you choose to use your flaw to regenerate drive. Speed is used at the start line and along straightaways. Handling is used for corners and difficult terrain, and the course will have equal parts corners and straightaways. If you succeed your check, you advance 1 place in the race order. And if you fail your check, you lose 1 place in the race order. So the race is as difficult as the person in first makes it. Those are the same rules we used for the dinosaur race, so it should sound a little familiar. Everyone follow so far?
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
am I?
There'll be a lot of that.
Is that Raggle?
You know it.
So, to summarize, your turn order is determined by what place you currently are in the race. If you're in first place, you determine how difficult it is to keep up with you by setting the DC for that round. And on your turn, you must do 3 things in any order. You must make a speed or handling check versus this round's DC, and whether it's speed or handling is determined by the course. How difficult it is determined by the person in first place. You may alternatively use your flaw on this check if you need more drive. Secondly, you must use either a special, a super special, or a weapon box if you have access to your super special or a weapon box. And lastly, the most important thing is to instill some dialogue or drama via a 5 to 30 second character moment or social interaction. You all have your coach that'll be on a headset that you can talk to. You can yell at each other during the race. You're only limited by your imagination, but you need to speak or describe. You need to speak to opposing vehicles, your allies, just have a brooding look, or just describe your driving. And this is a great way to either start and or end your turn. So the core mechanic is 2d6 plus an ability versus either this round's race DC or a target's 2d6 plus their durability. Your character sheet is set up, so all you have to do is hit the button for the ability you are using. If you roll 2 1s, that is snake eyes. That is a critical failure. You automatically lose 2 places in the race order, or if it was a durability check, you lose 2 HP instead of 1. If you roll 2 6s, that's boxcars. It's critical success. You automatically gain 2 places in the race order, if it was a speed or handling check, or if you critically succeeded an attack roll, you deal 2 damage instead of 1. Throughout the course, you are likely to encounter boosts or heals, or healing kits, I should say, and you are likely to encounter weapon boxes. A weapon box, you can only hold 1 at a time, and you have to use it on your turn, and it'll say what it does in the little description that we have underneath this one for weapon boxes. Some of the track might have some portions of the track you might find a boost that gives you like a +1 or a +2 to your handling or speed check that round, and you'll see the boost coming up. And some portions of the track you may find a repair kit, healing kit, and it restores 1 HP instantly. Your HP can't go beyond its maximum, and it's not something you hold on and use later. It just happens right away. You might also encounter shortcuts and we'll see when they hopefully come up. Weapon boxes we'll go over in more come up, but when you collect a weapon box, you roll 12 and get one of these random weapons. And we don't have a video game algorithm to help us with what weapons you get, so just because you're in first place doesn't mean you'll get all bananas. And just because you're in last place doesn't mean you'll get something really cool like a lightning bolt or blue shell equivalent or warp. etc.
Wait, you mean a fair race?
At least it's closer to true random. In video games, you never really random. It's very much catered to a more enjoyable.
All right.
So, does anyone have any
Yes.
questions before we begin actual play?
You said 3 things on a turn. One was use special or box weapon, and then use an action, which is like sneer, chuckle, talk to somebody. What was the other third action?
The third action will be a dice roll, either your speed, handling, or if you need to get more ammunition for your super special, a flaw check. And what the
Got it.
DC is, what difficulty class it is, and whether it's speed or handling will change each round based on the course and whoever's in first place. And as a helpful reminder, what you can do on your turn is on the left side of your character sheet. Put a little summarization there. Okay. Any other questions before we begin play?
I'm ready to rock.
Let's play.
So as the Ironhearts are all congregated and having a collective hallucination dream, you find yourselves in a locker room where Claudius, the second mate of the Dark Messenger, air element, is standing in front of you in a polo shirt with a whistle around his neck. He's got a clipboard and a cigar in his mouth, and he's pacing back and forth in front of you as you guys are all sitting in this locker room. AFK and Lieutenant Rel are there, and they look to be just kind of sitting off to the side outside of their uniform with some Ironhearts logo caps, t-shirts on. And Claudius, as he paces in front of you, stops a moment. All right, IronKarts, listen up here now. Okay, I know you've never driven a car before, and likely aren't exactly sure what an automobile even is, let alone how to race one against a legion of villains who have stacked the deck against you with blood magic, necromancy, and the Hydra's 10 stories tall. The Wanty may have us in speed and handling, funding and staffing, durability, weaponry, and cultivated talent. They have the advantage on the straightaways and the corners. Sure, they're better coached, better trained, and their ruthless, genocidal will to win is unmatched only by the Whispered One. They've occupied Chult and its only bastion for civilization. They've set their sights on the entire Southlands of Midgard and remain undefeated. But that doesn't mean we can't go out there and whip these guys, right?
Claudius, you kind of just told us exactly how they would beat us.
Yeah, you see Lieutenant Rail has a confused look, is doing a golf clap. AFK is playing with her goldfish.
Julian has a huge pewter mug that is steadily melting from the grog content, but he's taking swigs like, yeah, right. The one
Don't,
team, we're
don't
gonna
forget
get
that they kill their own allies to get ahead.
We
I'm
smash
staring.
cut. Oh, go ahead.
I'm staring dead-eyed and I belch.
Hell yeah, Bluegill Billy. Hell yeah.
we smash cut to the race track, and you can see Musharib and some dinosaurs, a T-Rex, big old T-Rex, a little turkey-sized velociraptor, a Dimetrodon, just like Chompy, are all in these IronKarts pit crew uniforms with the Ironheart logo on their caps, and they're holding tools and tool bags and spare tires. And Musharib approaches you guys as you're walking towards your vehicles. If your vehicles should be destroyed, do not worry. Me and my friends will help you. And the dinosaurs are high-fiving each other and high-fiving you guys as you walk by.
I high five all of them.
You what?
I high five all of them. Even if I
Awesome.
miss and fall on my face, I get back up and jump for the high five again.
Yeah, the T-Rex bends down and uses its little two-clawed hand for you, Parashar. As you guys are keep walking amongst this bizarre race track scenario, you see Hugh Hackenstone and some flying monkeys are all in cheerleading outfits with Ironhearts logos on their cheer uniforms. Hugh has one pom-pom with his one good arm. He says, "Give me an eye! Give me an arm! Go Ironkarts!" Flying monkeys are chittering behind him, waving pom-poms.
Oh, is that Willie in the audience?
And you guys see a orange frog person who looks strikingly like Bluegill Billy, waving his hand, holding a fishing pole in the other hand. Oh, go Billy! For Tribe Bluegill and Team Ironheart! And he's throws his fishing line out, catches a hot dog from a vendor and reels it back, and catches it with his tongue and swallows it quick. You guys can see all of your friends and family are in the stands cheering for you guys. And there's an owl bear with a monocle who's standing right in front of your path. And he says, "Now, IronKarts, each of you is driving a specially designed cart that I handcrafted specially for you. You may have noticed you don't know what the hell is going on, and your sanity has left you stranded in a surreal hallucination. Quack!
That's usually just a bad grog that's been in the hold a little too long, but I've dealt with it before.
Been a fourth wall break, really, if you think about it.
I shouldn't have drinking milk before bed.
But yeah, actually, I do remember. I helped you build my cart. I've been waiting all day to get in this old cart.
And he pats you guys on the back as you walk up to your vehicles. And suddenly, your surrounding changes. Around you is where the original Ironheart, Bjorn Thunderfoot, and Malakir Autumn Reaver, before they had earned their name, began their journey. A tundra forest of literal iron wood surrounds you. Here, a dryad heart was stolen and transplanted by ancient dwarves from the Feywild in the hopes of growing mithril wood, normally found only in elven wood, so the dwarves could harvest the precious and unique resource. In the center of the ironwood, the grandfather world tree Albatrod decays and withers. Its protector, the dryad Persia, sacrificed her life against a cosmic evil known as Urizen, the unspoken nothingness. and gave her Dryad heart to Bjorn Thunderfoot a long time ago. 2 or 3 years, I believe, within the IronKarts mythos. The sound of a humble ironwood forge rings with rhythm as the were polar bear Longjaw smashes his hammer with practiced skill, a skill he would later teach Bjorn Thunderfoot. Around you, the racetrack has somehow combined with this ironwood forest. And on a huge pedestal, you can see a giant, multifaceted crystal begins to glow, illuminate. Wakanga Otamu's voice, Wakanga Otamu of Nyanzaru, booms from the giant sending stone as a crowd of the Colosseum of Nyanzaru looks on. The race is about to begin! We smash cut to each iron cart driving up into position on the race course. So, Bluegill Billy, what are you driving as you pull up to the starting line?
I'm driving my Ford lily pad. And I have a sidecar with Chompy inside of it.
Rah, 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 rah. And Julian Alvari pulls up next to you. What's Julian driving?
Julian is driving a miniature version of the Dark Messenger. It doesn't have tires, it has tentacles that whirl around very quickly to act like tires, and he's got sails up there, and he's got a big old wheel, and it's go-kart size.
Yes. Parashar pulls up next to you. What's Parashar driving?
In a classy vehicle called the Bones of the Forest. It is a hollowed out tree that died of natural causes, of course, and it is specially designed to be good in wilderness terrain.
Perfect. And Pip, you're last to pull up.
Pip pulls up in like a flying carpet kind of vehicle, but you notice Pip is no longer wearing his robes, and all of the robes that that are made of canvas have been transformed into this cart. It's this constantly flowing and moving, tumbling and almost chasing itself, amorphous vehicle that's all of these pieces of canvas kind of flowing around a general shape of a vehicle. The tires constantly moving, even when the vehicle itself is not. The entire thing levitating just a little bit off of the ground so that it never really makes any contact. And Pip kind of just sits in the center of this and seems to be kind of just like if it were a regular, like he's on top of everything. Everything is below him. And he kind of is just like holding, it's not a wheel, like a steering wheel. It's like an orb that he's using to kind of guide his directions in like a 3-dimensional space.
I love it. And as you guys are pulling up, you can see other racers pulling up next to you as you're all starting at the same place on this starting line.
I think that if you're going to do a Willow character, then you definitely need to be thinking about role-playing your theme and role-playing your aesthetic.
It actually talks a little bit about like how the Nelwynds, or Willow specifically, has some inherent magic.
I think it might be fun if his character was like this, maybe not self-important. He thinks he's better than he is. We find him in a struggle to get, to really, really know himself.
He is the everyman. They do a really good job of that because they give him plenty of foils and characters to bounce off with in his community.
It paints such a clear picture in very little words. It's really smart writing because it's showing us, not telling us what and why we're doing what we're doing.
This is just the beginning.
As the Ironhearts pull up to the starting line for this dream, surreal hallucination IronKarts race, you see the other racers pulling up to you. You see a T-Rex. You see a Wanti that Charin would remember as Ka. You see the Wanti that Charin would remember as Salida. You see a skeleton. You see a man-trap. You see Farul and Gondolo on their farting T-Rex. You see an Almirage. You see the rival of Julian Alvari, Alak Jahawan. You see a flying monkey with a Arakokra-style totem helmet, King Dickbutt. You see 4 goblins with masks in a stacked on top of each other on their skateboard. You see a yellow musk zombie with its yellow barnacle vines and flowers on it, the albino dwarf. You see a Nyanzaru zombie, and you see evil pirate number 1. And as you all line up on the starting line, Wakanga's voice is heard from the giant sending stone at the top of the pedestal. Racers, start your engines!
Julian just kind of tilts his head, like, what?
Yeah, same.
As he gets ready to lower the sails.
You hear the... Sorry, go ahead. Oh, okay. I thought I heard something. You guys hear some engines starting. You hear some mounted beasts roaring as the rest of the racers initiate their vehicles. You're all at the starting line, and Alondra Featherly comes out with a flag, and when Wakanga's voice calls out, "On your marks, get set, go!" She waves the flag down, and all of you race off past, beginning the IronKarts race across Midgard. So at the starting line, there is no DC. This determines what the starting order of the race will be. You will go to your character sheet and click on speed.
Aye.
You betcha.
And the order is top to bottom, left to right. Oops. And they're off.
Aye.
Oh, chubby.
Dang.
Aye. So we got the... Oh my god, I didn't realize there was that many dang racers.
You guys see at the front of the race is the Whispered One. you see a arc-lick deity that has one eye missing, a face of skin stretched so tight it almost looks more like a skull, and they're holding this giant wizard staff as they fly across the stage on their flying carpet, leaving a trail of death curse behind them in their wake. You see Fenthaza is riding a giant snake on the top of it with a like reins around the bit that's in the giant snake's mouth as it slithers across. A flaming skull is in an ice cream truck behind them, and you see the rest of the racers. As you race through the Northlands of Midgard, seen at the top of the map on this page, you have the bleak expanse behind you to the north, an area of pure white. And the mountains of Thunder Mountain are looming in front of you to the south. Ether royals, which are ley-line storms from the great ocean to the west, slam into the anti-magic adamantine cliffsides here, terramorphing the coast from jungle to desert to coast again. You can see death-defying members of the Order of Thunder mounted atop their giant rams, riding down the mountainsides to catch the lightning in bottles as it crashes down. A six-legged giant lizard called a Behir took Bjorn's life here, where he was revived by Archibald Rockgrift, also known as Uncle Archie, as an Order of Thunder. It was in these mountains that the Ironhearts put an end to the oath of the Frozen King and met Raggle Rock and Christ Wrangle. Each of you must make a check at the beginning of the next portion of the race. But this is what you see as you guys race across the terrain. Lightning is striking all around you. The person in first place sets the DC. So the DC for this portion will be 9. Bluegill Billy, Pip, Julian, and Parashar. You must roll 2d6 plus your handling versus a DC check of 9.
That'll roll automatically that way with handling, right?
Yeah.
When you click on handling. But I guess I might be getting ahead of myself. You should be doing that at the beginning of your turn. So at the top of the round, sorry for that GM fumble there, but at the top of the round, you see the Whispered One leaving that death curse behind him. There are no immediate targets. However, in front of you, Bluegill Billy and Pip, you see a Wanty woman. She has a snake tongue and snake scales call out, "How's your friend Charin doing?" And she takes from her person some snakes, a handful of them, and chucks them at you guys. So Pip and Billy, you will have to click on your durability. So Pip, need a durability check from you. You should be able to just... Oh, there it is. It's above me. Sorry. So you guys win on ties. She got a result of 10. So you do not lose HP. You barely avoid these snakes as they fall on the road in front of you guys. Bluegill Billy, it is your turn.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is anybody next to me?
Next to you, immediately in front of you, is the Wanty woman who threw the snakes at you, and immediately behind you is Pip.
I'm gonna do my super special.
Nope.
Nice.
What's your super special, bud?
It's my super tongue attack.
All right, so I see special, you have Chompy's Chomp, and then super special, you have Super Tongue Attack. So this will hit the enemy racer in front of you, and you can just click on super special. So she must succeed against a result of 11, and she does not.
Nice.
So Billy sticks out his tongue, and it swings all the way around him, and then lashes in front of him at Ka. Her snake that she's riding on gets hit by the tongue, stumbles a bit, but continues driving. And Billy, you did, on your handling check, get a result of 8. So you lose 1 in the place position, in the place order.
Sorry, Billy.
Pip,
It's
it is
okay.
your turn. Oh, sorry, Billy, is there anything you say or do at the end of your turn?
No, s- see you in hell.
Pip, it is your turn.
Yeah. So Pip is now neck and neck with Billy. You on T, I'm assuming it's Ka or Salida?
That is Ka. Salida is further behind you.
Okay, so Ka right in front of me. I'll avenge you, Billy. And I will also use my super special, the Inky Junior. So the front of Pip's like moving, shifting canvas, despite all the moving and shifting, the very front end of it are these 3 like headlight looking things, but they're entirely like black. And you can kind of make out this kind of this odd movement to them. But Pip commands these 3 octopods made of ink to fly off of the front of the canvas and fly towards the racers in front of me.
3 racers in front of you, or you want it to hit all around you? I thought it was a radial.
Oh, it is radial. So no, if I use it now, it'll hit Billy. Never mind. That's a terrible idea.
No.
My mistake.
No, if you use it now, it'll hit Ka in front of you, and it'll hit the racer behind you. You guys don't have to worry about hitting each other. You're on a team.
Oh,
There.
dope. Okay, yeah, then I do it.
So they both failed their durability checks. And Ka's snake that she's on is now like limply racing forward. You can tell she's only got one hit left. Meanwhile, behind you is Alak Jahawan, the rival of Julian Alvari, and he's on his own little go-kart ship, the something Eagle. I'd have to go into the Tomb of Annihilation notes. And his ship gets hit with your ink, and he's hit by it, blinded by it.
Ha! Got you with my inky. Take that, dirty pirate.
And Pip, you did get a snake eyes result on your first handling check. So you lose 2 paces in the race order.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything. I'm not a snitch. But R.I.P.
I've said stuff. I did stuff. That's my turn.
All right. Alak Jaharwan gets his cannons ready, but they're facing to the side, so he currently has no targets. Next to you, you can see Salida, and she looks at you, Pip, and she says, "Do I know you?" And she chucks some snakes from her person at you. You must roll a durability check.
Mm.
And you win the tie of a 7, so you do not lose HP.
All right. You don't know me, but I know you. I'm coming for you. Courtesy of Char and Delver.
Hear, hear. The greatest man I ever knew.
You guys can see.
Yeah.
You guys can see Ferrul and Gondolo trying to manage their farting Triceratops as it weaves and goes practically off the race course. Oh! Julian, you see in front of you evil pirate number 1, and he says, "I have tons of character depth. You better worry about me," waving his sword. It is your turn.
Ye sail like someone with a fair amount of character development and backstory. That is to say, a lubber. Adjust tack to larboard. Which is what he's gonna do. He's gonna adjust tack to larboard, giving himself a +1 on his handling check. So
Okay.
it's gonna be that +1, so a 10.
Nice. So that is enough to succeed. You go 1 up in the pole position, and we'll say Ferrul and Gondolo are pushed behind. Behind you, the other racers are racing, trying to catch up. You see King Dickbutt with his dickbutt on his forehead, and his Arakokra trophy is just chittering at you. You can see his skeletons, goblins, zombies, and a T-Rex charging at the rest of you guys. The skeleton takes out his longbow and has a arrow notched, but there is no one in position.
Aye.
And the race continues. And it looks like everyone is having difficulty keeping up with the whispered one
Oof.
at the top.
Pretty sure they're cheating. They seem to have.
Like any good boss. Video game style. And Julian,
Right.
as you are racing, because you got a result of 10, you can see the Ether Royal storm clouds, lightning forming, and you have a preternatural omniscience of where the lightning is going to strike. The lightning strikes down, and a weapon box appears in your hands. Roll 1d12 to determine what it is.
Aye. 11. Let's see what we got.
Oh,
It looks like
dang,
we got
that's
the
a
rocket
really
barrage.
good one.
Har, har, har. Target all racers, even allies in front of you. Roll 2d6 plus 2 versus their durability. For each success, that racer loses 1 HP.
So you have this rocket barrage, a whole stack of them that you're carrying. If you want to collect another weapon box, you have to fire those. If you want to hold on to them, you can. But that's the collected weapon you have. If you use those, you cannot use your special or your super special on one turn.
All right,
The race course, that's a really good roll. The race course continues from Thunder Mountain, and you can follow with the X's and the arrows. We're at the third X on the map of Midgard. From Thunder Mountain to Holdremos, the journey becomes a dense swamp of blacks and browns and greens as basilisks turn creatures to stone in the distance. Here, the elves of the north have made a small city of docks and tree forts that change elevation with the constantly changing tides of the water. A stopping point for many seeking the Fey crossings and shadow roads of the Two Queens world tree to the south, including the Ironhearts, as they sought to return the Dryad heart of Persia to its proper resting place in the Feywild. It was here that Raggle Rock, still in his dragonborn form, competed in the Holdremos poison tasting contest, and Dagon Lockthwain joined the Ironhearts to guide them through the shadow roads to the Feywild. The course traverses from docks to tree branches, requiring you to make a speed check on your turn. The whispered one in the lead sets the DC to 9. Bluegill Billy, you can see Ka in her injured snake in front of you, turns and looks at you. I do remember you. And she chucks some snakes at you. Roll your durability check.
Who?
Bluegill Billy.
2 seconds.
A result of 8, and you win the tie. You just miss the snakes as Chompy leaps up from the sidecar, eating them.
Oh, good boy. I love you so much. Oh, give me a kiss.
And he bites your face. All right. Bluegill Billy, it is your turn.
Do I have any other options aside from my specials?
You will only have access to your default special right now. You can see the docks and tree branches are constantly maneuvering in front of you. You could possibly make a shortcut, but it all depends on your dice result for this speed check.
Boom.
You do see a shortcut ahead where you can take a jump off of a tree branch and land on a dock far ahead, a corner that everyone else has taken so far. You advance 3 paces, landing right next to Fanthaza. How the hell did you get here?
It's called a shortcut, scumbag.
And you can now use your default special. Which I forget who it targets.
Targets to the side.
Okay, so it targets Fanthaza.
And it's chomping.
Okay. Chompy, with a mouthful of snakes and blood, spits them out and chomps at Fanthaza, but she's able to evade the attack.
It's okay, boy. You tried your best, and I still love you.
So wholesome. So perfect.
Pip, it is currently your turn. You see Alak Jaharwan right next to you is lighting the fuse for one of the cannons on his go-kart ship. What would you like to do?
Eat my shorts, dirtbag! And I try and take Billy's shortcut.
Okay, so you have to make a speed check, and if your result is 10 or more, you hit the shortcut.
Hey.
That will do it. Right behind Billy, you also leap off the tree branch, around the wide corner, and land on the docks.
Well, that'll do. All right.
Roll a d4.
I can do that.
There is only enough room on this portion of the course for 2 people to be next to each other, so you land right behind Fanthaza and Billy, right next to the flaming skull in an ice cream truck.
So then I will use my special to give flight to my buddy Billy.
So it gets +1 to...
Oh, well, I hadn't even thought about that. This would be...
It's either speed or handling. Or durability.
I suppose handling makes the most sense. If you were flying, you would get a little extra speed.
All right, so Billy, keep in mind, I'll try to put a little reminder on our token here, that you have +1 to your next handling check that you make.
+1. Okay.
I'll put a little fist. And is there anything you say at the end of your turn, Pip?
Fly, my little froggy friend, fly!
As you guys keep racing, next to you, Julian, evil pirate number 1 pulls out his sword, and he says, "I have a very complex backstory," and swings his sword at you.
It's as complex as your sword fighting. Then we need to hire better writers.
Hey, it's your dream. Go ahead and roll 2d6 plus your durability.
Aye.
So you're able to fend them off with your own sword play. It is your turn, Julian.
Well, full speed ahead. Lower the mainsail. It's not
And a
as fast
speed check of 9 is just enough to keep pace. You move ahead 1 pace.
enough. Lock you mutineering bastard. I'll get you. I suppose it's time for perhaps a rocket barrage. Hmm?
His eyes turn to dinner plates.
All right, 2d6 plus 2, eh? As it happens, that's my drive stat, so... Hire, suck on that. Shooting a veritable barrage of rockets, as the weapon box might indicate. What's this say? Front toward enemy? Very nice.
Poor luck as the rockets shoot off and destroy everything around the targets in front of you.
What a piece of junk. I've plundered better rockets than that. From
Behind you,
garbage cows. Arr! Okay, sorry.
Behind you guys, you can see the other racers struggling to keep up. The course from ahead of you, you guys see the twin world trees, the two queens. And as you race between them, there is a magic flash as you are transported to the shadow roads of Midgard, surrounded by the Shadow Fell. And then, as if through a mirror, through the two trees again, you are teleported to the Feywild. It was in the Shadow Roads that the Ironhearts were tested, and Raggle Rock sacrificed his own memories of all those he ever loved for more levels, for more power.
What a giver. What a giver.
Here, forests from across all of Midgard and time team together. Plants and animals of all colors, shapes, and sizes are a myriad of emotion, deception, and splendor as the giant elven metropolis of Lost Arbernass looms at its center. It was here the Ironheart stood on trial by the imp judge Dexter against the winter court of hags and true elves, with some help from the summer court and the mother of dryads. It was here Raggle Rock became a gnome. Julian Alvari joined the Ironhearts, who helped them release the curse of the Blightwood, slay the first lichen, and return the Dryad heart to its proper place, giving birth to the Dryad Sira and the Ironhearts, their namesake. As the course moves through a myriad of hallucinogenic realities that simulate paintings, creatures and places of wild emotion trick the mind and offer gifts. On your turn, you will have to make a handling check as the Whispered One, having passed through the Shadow Roads, gains advantage on his check.
Right,
and sets the DC to 10.
Do we all do a check now?
No.
Nope, it'll be on your turn. Oh, did I skip Parishar's turn? Oh my goodness, my friend.
I haven't had a turn yet,
sorry.
so maybe. It's a possibility.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so sorry.
Hello.
It's okay. You'll make it up with inspiration, I'm sure.
I am so sorry, Matt. I didn't move the token into the race spot.
All is forgiven for inspirations.
No, you can roll 1d12 and you'll get a free weapon box.
Yeehaw! Hopefully it's more useful than that rocket barrage.
And a result of 6. I'm so sorry, Matt. You gain a super special. You activate your super special power using this weapon box as ammunition instead of your drive.
Awesome.
So it will be your turn momentarily, I promise.
I believe you this time.
But Bluegill Billy is going to be first. Billy, you can see ahead of you the Arc Lich, the God Lich, Acererak, the Whispered One, is leaving a trail of death curse. You must make a durability check.
Okay, not double once. I just saw the red color. I was like, oh no!
Yeah. Dangerously close, though.
You lose 1 HP as necromantic magic in this God's wake saps the life from you. Reducing you from 5 HP to 4.
Woof.
You must succeed a handling check versus DC 10. And it is the top of your turn if you are trying to use a special first. And in fact, because you're flying, you will gain +1 to your handling check. As you are racing through this painting changing reality, you can see a little frog hops up onto your shoulder and looks at you and says, "Hey, buddy, I got something for you." And he sticks out his tongue, and you can see a weapon box and a healing kit. Which one will you take?
Healing kit.
You grab the healing kit, and he leaps off your shoulder. "Good luck, Bluegill Billy!" And back into the myriad surroundings you have. You immediately heal the 1 HP you lost, bringing you back to 5. So it is the top of your turn. You've already succeeded your handling. You've already succeeded your handling check. You may use a special, and then it will be the end of your turn.
Do I have access to my super special?
As long as you have enough drive to do so. I'm not sure. I think you've used your super tongue attack.
Okay, but what if you only have a DVD copy of the 2011 Nicholas Winding Refn film Drive?
Then you get a laugh.
Excellent.
So you started with 3 drive, Bluegill Billy, and I think you've used your tongue attack once?
Yeah, one time.
So you still have 2 uses left.
It's tongue time, baby.
And you should be able to just click on your super special, and this will target the Whispered One in front of you, Phantaza beside you, and the Flaming Skull in an ice cream truck behind you.
Nice.
Ooh, and a result of 12.
Nice.
Oh. Ooh.
You see Fenthaza and the Flaming Skull are both hit by your tongue, but the Whispered One bats it away with necromantic energy. The Flaming Skull says, "You may have a sweet tongue, but I've got a sweet tooth."
Nerd.
And does Billy say anything at the end of his or do anything at the end of your turn?
Yes.
Ahead of you, Pip, you can see the Death Curse trail that the Whispered One is leaving behind. You must roll durability.
Ooh. Hey, okay.
You steel yourself against the necromantic energy and are able to resist it. You also see Fenthaza, without even looking at you, chucks a handful of snakes at you. You must roll durability again.
Jesus, Pip.
The snakes hit you on your flying carpet-like cart, taking bites before they are whipped away by the wind. You lose 1 HP,
Very rude.
dropping you from 6 to 5.
Got it.
It is the top of your turn, Pip. What would you like to do?
Well, I want
You
to
will
try
have
and
to
get out. I
Sorry.
want to try and get out in front of these folk. Catch it with my buddy Billy.
You will have to make a handling check, and the DC is 10.
You got it. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I might just use flight on myself.
There you go.
And that'll help me out with that. So I'm going to go ahead and use my special boon, Spectral Flight. And so wings come off out of the canvas and attach them to the sides of my car. And I take off.
And now you can roll handling, and you'll get +1 to whatever result you get.
There we go.
A result of 12. As you're traveling, Dagon leaps out in panther form and morphs back to his normal form, and he's sitting right next to you, and he offers you, in one hand he has a healing kit, and in the other hand a weapon box.
I'm good to see you,
You can
buddy.
only pick one.
I'll take that weapon box, sure.
He winks at you and leaps off of your cart. Go ahead and roll 1d12.
Nice.
A result of 7
Oh, sick.
is Jolt Cola. The weapon box turns into a carbonated, sugary caffeine beverage. This will replenish 1 drive, but you cannot increase your maximum drive this way.
Yeah, it's the blue one. Just saying. It's the blue one.
Point of order. Can you can't use it to permanently increase your drive above its maximum, or you cannot go above your maximum with it?
Neither.
example, if
you
you-
can't go above. You
Oh.
can't go above your maximum. It just
Very well.
replenishes 1 expended drive.
Very
Which is good, because I did just use my special on my last turn.
super.
For my
Yep.
first turn.
So on your next turn, you can use Jolt Cola or use your regular special,
Cool.
or use your super special.
Okay, so I did my handling. I did my spell. I did some words. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
Parashar, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. You do get to play, my friend. It is the top of your turn. And you have a
Really
weapon
screaming
box
at me.
in hand. Oh, of course. What good timing.
Saying bye-bye, guys.
Bye!
All right, so bye. First thing is I have to roll, right?
Yes, you can either, in any order, you can either use your weapon now, or you can make a roll to try and keep up in the initiative order, in the racing order.
Weapon first, then roll to try to race ahead.
Okay. And I've already forgotten what weapon you got. I think it was the super special.
The
So
super
you can-
special.
Yep, so you can click on your super special for the roll and then tell us what that is.
So for the super special, I pull out this ancient amulet that I found in this nearby tomb.
It's very like Parashar to leave us hanging.
All right, a result of 13. Using this ominous amulet, 3 racers in front of him will be horribly cursed. Ooh, nice. All of the racers in front of you, the Whispered One, Fenthaza, and the Flaming Skull in an ice cream truck, lose 1 HP as this curse seems to sap the life or unlife from them.
No offense to our undead viewers. Again, we love all of you.
No hate here.
Ooh.
All right, so that's the super.
In fact, you see Fenthaza has only got 1 hit left in the snake that she's driving, and the Flaming Skull in his ice cream truck, it seems to be battered and losing parts and is driving on 1 flat tire. Now you can make a handling check.
Making a handling check. Handling! Hold on. And here we are.
And you try to keep up with the changing terrain from Holdremos to Shadow Roads to Feywild, and the other racers are gaining on you. You lose 1 pace. The DC was 10
Got
for
it.
that round.
Yep, because he sets it high.
And on Salida's turn, she takes a handful of snakes and chucks them at you. You must roll your durability. Parashar.
Did I roll it?
No, you hit points. The durability should be listed under speed.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or under drive, there it is. Result of 11. The snakes hit you and bite at your hollowed out tree trunk vehicle to no avail, breaking their teeth and falling to the side.
Idiot snakes. They don't eat wood.
Snakes. I'm glad it was snakes.
Parashar is the Bizarro Indiana Jones.
He gets it! Oh, very good!
Meanwhile, Salida and Ka change positions in the race. Ahead of you, Julian, you can see Alak Jaharwan. It's your turn, Julian.
Unlock, you mutineering bastard! Oh, it looks like the sails are already tacked to larboard. Tack them to starboard! Ah! I'm going to get a +1 on the handling check here.
Okay. Oh, nice. As you are racing through the Shadow Roads and the Feywild, you see a little squirrel with a giant cartoony grin that goes up to its ears bite into a mushroom and then spit at you the weapon box or a healing kit. You only have time to catch one. Which would you like?
Or the weapon box.
All right, go ahead and roll 1d12. Your rocket barrage again.
Better be better than the last one.
That is your special. That is your handling check. You advance 1 in the race order. Do you say anything at the end of your turn?
I'm just going to spit in his face. I'm going to pull up as close as I can and hawk a giant seaworthy loogie right in his mutineering face. Unlock, you rat bastard! You race like you pirate, badly and with a horrible smell.
You guys see behind you Ferrul and Gondolo on their farting Triceratops losing more and more in the race order.
No.
I mean, pirate number 12 or whatever he is, he of the well thought out backstory, he seems to be losing a fair amount of ground too.
Oops. And as the race continues, having restored a world tree to Midgard and bringing leyline magic back to the Northlands, the Ironhearts used their new fortune and fame to liberate the castle Red Rock, Raggle Rock's inherited castle in the Ozku Hills, from the blue dragon Reslarabrand of the Mahorti Empire. It was in the liberation of this castle that the Ironhearts met AFK and Pip the Great Ponderowski. They slayed Raggle's evil father, Lord Soth, and his Mahorti occupiers. They slayed Reslarabrand, the dragon of steam and acid. They defeated a treasure golem and slayed the devil trapped inside the iron flask of the castle's vault, all in one night. It is now the official headquarters of the Ironhearts, where Uncle Archie's memorial was held and where his brother, Raggle Rock's forgotten adoptive father, Booster Rockcliffe, still resides. You guys raced past the castle and through the Ozku Hills. You will have to make a speed check on this round. Bluegill Billy, you and the Whispered One are neck and neck for first place. You inch out ahead. You get to set the DC for this round. How difficult do you want it to be? 1 through 5 being easy, 6 through 9 difficult, and 10 through 12 nearly impossible.
Let's make it an 8.
Okay. It is your turn. You can start with a special or with your speed check. You keep up, keeping speed with your own difficulty and using your racing abilities to not lose control of your vehicle. Do you have a special to use? Or super special? Or weapon box?
Is that person next to me still, or am I ahead of him?
You are neck and neck with them until they take their turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use my special, and Chompy's gonna chomp them.
Nice.
Oh no!
Chompy chomps into this god lich's flesh, taking some dead flesh into his mouth and spitting it out.
Good boy, Chompy.
And that is your turn, Billy. Right next to you, the whispered one is keeping pace. You guys are still neck and neck.
They could be described as necking it.
I wouldn't go that far,
But
but I'm glad you did. Behind you, you can see Fenthaza losing speed as she tries to keep up with your difficult racing abilities. As she does, she chucks snakes at you, Pip. You must roll a durability.
When you go run out of snakes, I'm goddamn tired of it.
Pip,
Oh, sorry,
right
I
next to you.
double-clicked.
That's fine. It's a failure either way for her. And right next to you, you see the flaming skull side door open on the ice cream truck, and ice cream shoots in your direction. You must roll another durability check.
was I doing
Gary?
better as an NPC?
Have you know?
No, Parashar. You dealt some damage, and you're still in the 5th position spot, so you're doing okay.
You mean last?
No, you're in what would be 5th, depending on how the ties come out. And the ice cream hits the road all around you, Pip. You do not suffer any HP loss. It is your turn. You beat the ties for initiative, but you can see the flaming skull in an ice cream truck, quote unquote Sweet Tooth, is
Sugar mouth?
Sugar Mouth is wiping out in the ice cream trails that he shot at you. You can see he's about to lose 2 paces. I accidentally started his turn a bit early, so it is your turn.
And when he wipes out, does machetes and guns fall out of his vehicle?
And a man strapped to 2 tires. So, Pip, it is your turn.
What's up, Fanthaza, you nasty trash? So I'm gonna use my. Oh, I have to. I have 4 drive, so I still have uses before I have to use the Jolt Cola. So I'm gonna special again, and release the Inkies. On Fanthaza and Sugar Lips.
Well, you did use the ink once already, didn't you? Are you keeping track of your uses?
Yes, I did. I just thought because I had a score of 4 in drive, it gave me an additional use,
So a score of 4 means you have 4 uses before you need your Jolt Cola.
Right. Okay. Cool. So I still have.
So you have 3 left out of your 4 that you started with.
Thank you. Okay. So yeah. But yeah. That. So it's gonna go out at 2 enemies. Right. I'm gonna roll it.
It is enough to hit Fenthaza and Sugarmouth. Fenthaza's snake gets hit by your ink, which draws blood from it. It gets blinded and rails off of the course. Fenthaza goes to the back of the initiative order, of the race order, as other Yuan-Ti begin making blood sacrifices and blood magic to heal up her snake, and she races back into the course at last position. Sweet Sugarmouth in an ice cream truck flaming skull also falls to the back. His vehicle is quickly repaired by a man, dark-skinned man, who gets out of a pink, tricked-out lowrider with bass and songs going, and he says, "Oh, I'm Thumper," and fixes the vehicle, and Sugarmouth gets back onto the course.
Excellent.
I believe you still have to make your speed check.
I do. Thank you. I just didn't want to interrupt. So I'm going to throw that speed check in to try and catch up to the whispered one.
And you do. You're only 1 place behind them as he's tied with Bluegill Billy. Parashar, it is your turn. You can see Salida, a Yuan-Ti, driving right next to you, and Ka right behind. You can use your special or super special or start with the speed check.
Let's start with the. Let's use my special and do a speed check in that order. Special first, please.
Okay.
Do I have to roll for that?
Yes, so if you're using your special, that's the one that does not consume drive. It will give you +1 durability or a nearby teammate. And then your super special, you have 1 use of still. The ominous amulet.
There's only 2 people near me, though, right?
Correct. Salida and Ka.
Yeah, so I'll just use my special and then speed away from them.
Okay. So I'll put a...
I rolled a 9 for my special.
And I believe Billy had set it to 8, so you advance 1 pace.
Yay!
And I'll put a little heart on your token to try and help us remember that you have +1 durability the next time you make a durability check.
I know, it's just to remind you that I'm your favorite.
That as well. Let's do this first. Salida, the Yuan-Ti, keeps up with you. Julian, you must make a durability check as Ka throws another handful of snakes at you.
Why'd it have to be snakes?
And they are slapped away by the tentacles of your dark messenger.
Some are going, some are slapping.
Ka keeps up.
This is the cart messenger. Different boat.
The cart messenger, thank you. I stand corrected. How did I not see that? Julian,
Yes, sir.
it is your turn. And you can see Alak Jahawan has got a match lit. He's about to shoot you with the cannons on his pirate cart.
Fascinating. Luckily, I've got a delightful selection of tentacles to choose from. So, actually, do I have to move ahead to get all three of to get Ka and Alak and the flying monkey? Because those flying monkeys are after me stuff too, if you'll recall.
You can hit one person sharing a space with you. You can hit the space in front of you.
So if I use a radius attack, it would only get 2 people.
It will get, correct, Alak and the flying monkey. If you choose to make your speed check first, that may change who it hits.
Aye.
What the?
Perhaps I do my speed check first.
All right, and you've got to beat an 8.
Looks like I've successfully beaten an 8. Should have rolled. Now, Alak, eat tentacle.
It's actually a delicacy where I'm from.
So the tentacles are slapping the ground, and they're trying to slap all the other folks. Trying to slap that snake-slinging ne'er-do-well, as well as the mutineering bastard in my wake.
I kind of... I give you a nod of eldritch acknowledgement.
That is a success against both targets. You see ahead of you, Ka. Her snake gets entangled with your tentacles and gets slammed both sides of your cart, left in the wake. Meanwhile, Alak in his pirate cart takes a beating, gets slapped in the face, and keeps racing.
You haven't seen the last of it, you bastard.
Okay. The other racers try to keep up, not doing such a good job.
That's what they get for fucking with us.
What place am I in?
You are in third place, Parashar. Bluegill Billy and the Whispered One are tied for first. Pip is in second. Salita is in fourth. Julian in fifth. Alak Jahawan in sixth. A flying monkey called King Dickbutt is in seventh. And a T-Rex zooms up into eighth place.
Something's wrong. I'm in third.
Well, I mean, we are racing as a team, and by points we got all these bastards beat.
The race course continues across the oceans of Midgard to Bemia, a small island to the west. It was in Bemia that the Ironhearts prepped for their journey to Cholt. An iron spire that shoots from the oceans is guarded by 1,000 gargoyles, home to the Circle of 12 Mages and the Academy of the Arcane Arts where AFK graduated. It was here that the Ironhearts discovered more about the death curse and its orchestrator, the Whispered One, who is sometimes called the Black Sorcerer, the First Drow, the Bane of the Circle. He is the most infamous mage to ever walk Midgard. His name banished by the gods, but still survives in cults and in Chult to this day. The course spirals like a spiral staircase around the iron spire of Vemia in a tight corkscrew. Bluegill Billy, you're still neck and neck with the Whispered One. You must set the DC of this handling check.
Let's make it a 7.
All right. Billy, you begin your turn. You can either use a special or you can start with your handling check.
Start with my handling.
In your earbuds, you hear a, "Oh, you're doing great, Ironhearts," from Professor Owlbear. All right, a 10 will allow you to keep pace. You may use a special or a super special if you have access to it.
If I use another super special, I think I
would be out, I believe. That would be your third. If I remember correctly. I'm sorry, I haven't been keeping track of yours.
You're right. What does that mean if I'm out?
Then you can't use it until you replenish a drive by using your flaw instead of your speed or handling on a future check.
Okay.
But you could also land on like I got the Jolt Cola. So if you get a weapon box, you might land on an item that gives you back that drive point.
Okay. It's time to take you to Tongue Town, Death Curse jerk.
Ooh, a 12. And your tongue hits him, and he backs it away with his giant mage staff.
What? Oh, that's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
And you can make your... Oh, you already got your handling check, a result of 10, and the DC was 7?
Yeah.
All right. Next to you, you hear the Whispered One. When the Whispered One is involved, I deem what is impossible and what is possible. Keeping up neck and neck with you, leaving a trail of death curse behind him. Pip and Parashar, you must each make durability checks against the death curse left in the Whispered One's wake. You must beat a 10. Pip, you lose 1 HP.
I don't like that none. Keep your stinky death farts to yourself.
He should get back to his ASMR OnlyFans page.
Truly.
Perish.
That's the whispering. See. There.
And Parashar, you're able to steel yourself from being affected by the death curse.
Sturdy as an oak.
Pip, it is your turn. The handling check is DC 7. You may do that first or use special if you got one.
I'm coming for you, old stinky dead man.
I don't know why it's rolling twice.
I keep double clicking. I'm sorry.
You don't have advantage there, buddy.
No, it's we were playing with Fantasy Grounds, and you double click to make roll.
That's
So
right.
I'm like, my brain is dumb. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I am going to use the first check, so you
Yeah.
drop 1 in the place order, in the pace. You're now neck and neck with Parashar. Salida behind you.
Well, so in which case I will send off a section of my canvas that becomes wings upon Parishar's car and give him the boon of spectral flight.
Spectral!
All right, buddy. Now, you go on up there and beat up the stinky dead man.
Wee!
It's a
Parashar.
wild ride. You're never gonna forget it.
Parashar, it is your turn. You have a momentary boon to your durability and your handling. You can see the spiral corkscrew course going up the Iron Spire of Bemia, Bluegill Billy and the Whispered One in front of you, Salida behind you, Pip right next to you. You can begin with a special or with your handling check.
My special faded because I already used it from the last from the Whispered One, right? I think 2 things actually tried to hit me since I used that. Anyway.
A durability check? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think so that did fizzle and that's done. I'll start with the roll as handling or speed.
Yeah, it's handling versus a DC of 7.
That's not good. Any way to skip that? I guess I'll just roll and get this over with. No way. Does that work?
Yeah, you also got a +1 to that check on account of Pip's flying ability being cast on you. So a result of 9, you keep drifting around this corner, spiraling up the staircase.
And then I will... I only have a couple options. I could use special. My super weapon is... I still have my super weapon, don't I? Do I have 3 enemies nearby me?
Your drive is 1, and you have only used the ominous amulet once from a weapon box you got, if I am remembering correctly.
Yeah, I used my special ones.
So you can either use your shield again or use your last ominous amulet. You can restore the ominous amulet if you choose to do a -2 on your next roll. Or you can just be out of them. You guys can see the race course only has 2 rounds left in it.
I'm going to use my... Is there 3 enemies near me? Or I thought it was allies are all surrounding me.
It's all allies except for the Whispered One directly in front of you.
I am going to use my flaw. So my flaw is... What's that?
You've already used your handling check to keep up on the spiral staircase. You'd have to use your flaw instead of handling.
Oh, never mind. Okay. All right, then So then I just glare menacingly at the Whispered One.
Yeah, and you can still use your default special. You can give yourself, Billy, or Pip +1 to their next durability check.
Right back at, you said Billy, and then who else?
Or Pip.
Pip. I give
Or
Pip.
yourself.
I use my special to give Pip durability check.
Hey, thanks, buddy. You know I'm always a little classy.
Obliged.
All right. Behind you guys, you can see Salida turns to Julian behind her, and she says, "Tired of snakes yet, pirate?" and chucks them at you.
I
So you
suppose I
must
have to
make
roll a
a-
durability check.
Yep.
Ooh, a tough one. Ah, bloody hell.
You lose 1 HP as the snakes bite into you, spilling into the deck of your cart messenger.
Arr! Have to get the ship's carpenter up from below decks. The lazy bastard.
As far as maintaining her pace on the course, she is able to keep up with the other racers. Gets right next to you, Pip. It is your turn, Julian.
Well, let's see. The weapon box. What's the range on the rocket barrage? Because Salida needs to live up to her name, which is Spanish for exit, and get the hell out of the race.
What was the question? A weapon box question?
What's the range on the rocket barrage?
Oh, it hits the up to 3 paces in front of you, so she is in range.
But perhaps I can get a little further. I'm gonna risk a bit of a handling check. See if I can handle this. Oh, god damn it.
1, 2, 3. She's still at the end of your rocket barrage's range.
But now I've got
You
her
can do it,
locked
Cam.
within tentaclin range.
True.
And seeing as whenever I look into his eyes, the Kill Bill weep 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 starts playing in the head. I'm gonna have to slap some tentacles around. Oh, holy shit.
That is Boxcars. You will deal 2 damage unless he gets Boxcars. And he had 2 HP left. How do you want to do this?
2 tentacles are gonna grab him, and they're gonna chuck him way back to the back of the race line. And then they're gonna make a rude gesture in my wake.
Flipping him off.
And however tentacles can do that.
It's like a little
Give
loop.
him a big tentacle-y finger. And the flying monkey, I suppose he's not feeling too well either.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
King Dickbutt, more like King not gonna steal my stuff.
Is the tentacle your super special?
Aye. It's radio.
All right, so keep track of your drive. Is that the last one?
That is, I am out to drive.
Okay. That is enough, especially because it was a crit, to knock King Dickbutt back to the end of the race line.
Aye. Nobody's getting me grog.
His helmet falls off, just like you recall in the jungles of Chult. Behind you, Julian, you can see a T-Rex, a stack of goblins. Ferrul and Gondolo are going the wrong direction. as the race continues. And from Bemia, you guys travel a great distance. As you recall, you had taken the Dark Messenger into the Southlands. The course winds through the Southlands of Midgard. From Bemia, the Ironhearts traveled by sea via Julian's Dark Messenger to Nuria, Natal, the cosmopolitan city of the Southlands. Here, the river Nuria, a product of the braided ley line of Nuria, brings water and life to a land of ever-changing ecologies, undeath, and gods that walk the earth. It was down the long river the Ironhearts went into unmapped territories and the origin of the death curse. The jungles of Cholt and the last bastion of civilization, Port Nyanzaru. It was here that they received a royal welcome, competed in Colosseum events, dinosaur races, hired guides, ate dinner with the merchant princes at the Golden Throne, and witnessed the coming of Zmee, the Titan Hydra, and met Bluegill Billy. Billy, as you're neck and neck with the Whispered One, you get to set the DC of this speed check through the streets of Nyanzaru.
What would be the best choice for my teammates?
Tough question. I mean, ultimately, at this point, we've got a pretty decent lead built up. It's most of us, other than our two mortal enemies here. So I almost feel compelled to make it something closer to 9-10, to make it a little bit harder on the rest of the people behind us. But that could be disastrous, but it also might not be. I don't know. Making the DC lower will make it easy for everyone to pass. We'll all probably stay in position.
Vote for 10. Just like Pip just said. 10.
There you go. You heard the frog.
Oh, one thing I forgot to do. As you guys reach the top of Bemia, you see a circle of 12 mages, and they call out, "Ironhearts, you're our last hope!" and give each of you a weapon box unless you're already holding one.
Oh, damn.
I'm holding on to mine. Gotta clear out that those top 3 positions.
Okay, so Pip and Parashar and Bluegill Billy, you may each roll 1d12.
Oh, I got the Jolt Cola still.
Oh, okay. So Parashar and Billy, you may each roll 1d12 unless you're already holding a weapon.
Ooh. Road huggers, hey? Billy?
What?
You got some road huggers. You gain +1 to your next handling check.
Oh, yes. Huh. Thanks, bud.
Julian has his spyglass and he's looking at the weapons boxes as people open them.
All right, Parashar, you can roll 1d12. Maddie. Meanwhile, Billy, you must make a speed check to race through the Southlands towards Nyanzaru. You can use a special first or start with the speed check. Oh, there we go. Your DC of 10, you succeeded with an 11. You keep up in first place. And you can either use your special or the weapon box. If I remember correctly, you're out of tongue attacks. Although maybe that was Parashar who's out. I can't recall.
Yeah, I am.
Right.
I'll use my weapon box.
Okay. Little hands come out of your lily, or little vines come out of your lily pad and hug the ground, giving you +1 to your next handling check. Is there anything you say or do at the end of your turn?
I'm in first place. See you losers later.
And in fact, the Whispered One is barely keeping up with you, leaving the death curse behind him. Parashar, Pip, and Julian, you must each make durability checks as the death curse threatens your lives or your carts.
Or my
All right, booty hole man. Acerax, more like Acerax.
I'll go ahead and roll for Parashar. I think Matt's preoccupied. All of you are able to resist the death curse. Okay, Parashar, you must roll 1d12. You got a weapon box from the Magicians of Bemia.
It is a 5.
Ryan, tell him what he won.
Looks like Parashar got himself a force field.
Force
+1 to his
field.
next durability check.
I am indestructible.
Or at least less destructible.
Very much so.
All right, you must make a speed check versus DC 10, or you can start with a special or a super special or your weapon box.
I'm gonna hit my speed real quick.
Just able to keep up.
Yay! And then, am I in first?
You are tied for first with the Whispered One and Bluegill Billy.
So if I use my super special, it would only hit the Whispered One?
Correct.
How many rounds till, can I see the finish line?
You can see the finish line fast approaching you guys. There is only one more round of the race left.
I'm gonna use my super special on him. Must win for the tree.
All right, go ahead and click on super special. You have to beat a 10.
Can I do it? Super special.
No!
Nice.
IronKarts.
Was that a double 6?
That was
Yeah.
a double 6, amigo.
Oh baby.
Wow.
Oh baby. You just hear this wooden
What does your amulet do? What does your amulet do?
It just curses them, and apparently that deals 1 damage.
2 damage because you
Two damage now.
because you had boxcars. However, as the Whispered
Yummy.
One is affected by this necromantic magic, he says, "I do not take damage. I will live forever."
Yes, live
And
forever at the back of the line.
Yep. Instead of taking damage, he is reduced 2 paces.
Nice.
Is there anything you do at the end of your turn, Parashar?
I turn my head around like an owl and then stick out a splintered wooden bugbear tongue at him.
Chompy and in the sidecar of Billy's lily pad right next to you, it goes. Pip, you're tied with Salida and the Whispered One for second place. You may begin with a special or the speed check versus DC 10.
I'm gonna hit him.
And hit him you do.
Get him, Inky. You got the Inky. You stinky, and you get the Inky.
All right. He doesn't like that.
Oh, that was my radial. Did it hit?
Sorry about that. Yes. Is that your super special then?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I think you're might be close to out of those then, I assume.
One more.
Okay. And Salida is also hit. She takes 1 damage.
That's for messing with Charin, you dirty old snake lady.
All right, now you can do a speed check versus DC 10.
There ain't no shortcuts around here, is there?
You don't see any. It's just a long road down the length of the River Nuria with its braided ley line. Pip, behind you, you see Salida chug down a Jolt Cola that she got from a weapon box. She looks to you and then looks behind her at Julian and says, "I am a snake lady," and throws snakes out in all directions. Both of you must make durability checks.
I got that shield on, so I get the +1.
Okay.
Both?
And the snakes, you are able to ward them off as they fall to the sides of your cart, dealing no damage.
Snakes, more like steaks, that I will eat later for dinner.
Additionally, she falls behind in the race order. Julian,
Yarr.
it is your turn. You've got Salida and the Whispered One right next to you, a T-Rex behind you, and your allies directly in front.
Well, holding on to that weapon box appears to have been a minor tactical error. So I suppose I'll do my speed check and have him eat my dust. So the tentacles are slapping the ground and raising up all kinds of dirt and making like little suction cup sounds every time it, like rapid fire suction cup sounds. And he hoists some sails and ties some ropes and zooms past Salida and Asarak, while two free tentacles make other rude gestures.
And you hear in your earbud, which apparently you know exists in this hallucinogenic dream, the voice of Professor Owlbear, who says, "Watch out for that T-Rex!" As a T-Rex gets boxcars advancing 2 paces and biting you on its way up the place orders.
Youch!
You must make a durability check, Julian. And as it bites into the dark messenger, your tentacles slap at it and it lets go.
One of the tentacles makes a fist and... Eh.
The race continues. You can see the finish line ahead as you guys wind through the streets of Nyanzaru into the jungles of Cholt and into the Forgotten City. And what does the future hold for the Ironhearts? Well, they encounter the Sohn sisters, who act on behalf of the Whispered One and tamper with ley lines and fate. Will you reach the Forgotten City of Omu before Red Wizards and Wan Ti do? What lies within the horrific dungeon that it holds, called the Tomb of Annihilation? Will the Ironhearts end this death curse? And if they do, who will survive the ordeal? The course races through a dungeon of evil. You see the face of the Whispered One with one missing eye laughing as the world turns to death and darkness all around and behind you. Right before the finishing line, a last corner must be, you must take one more corner with a handling check. Parashar and Bluegill Billy, you are in the lead. Billy, since you've been holding the first place, I'll let Parashar set the DC of this last check on the IronKarts race.
One.
Make a handling check versus DC 1. You may choose to use your flaw or use your handling.
I'm glad I chose a 1. That way I didn't screw it up.
And do you do anything else on your turn?
I still have a special to use, I think. Or no, I got one from the box. I'm gonna use that box.
Okay, yeah, it adds 1 to your durability.
Yes.
A force field appears around you.
No,
Billy,
go on the bed.
it is your Billy, it is your
Go to
turn.
mommy. Go to mommy. Go.
Did you say we're going around a corner?
It's
Yep, one more corner. A handling check to be made.
Okay. And I might use my flaw.
Yes, you can do instead of that handling, you can do a click on your flaw. All you have to do is beat a DC of 1. So we'll ignore the handling roll. So what is Bluegill Billy's flaw?
He goes too fast around corners.
You're kind of on the side of your lily pad, Chompy, in the sidecar, almost vertical with you, holding on for dear life. But you are able to keep up.
Whoa, whoa, baby! This is so much fun. Oh man.
Pip, it is your turn.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure. Julian, I hope this helps you. I'm going to use my last special to try and knock that T-Rex out from about to you. No.
Yep. It loses 1 HP.
Eat my canvas, you dirtbag. And I will make my handling check.
DC of 1.
I was really afraid I was going to miss that one.
Julian, it's your turn. You've got a T-Rex right next to you. Salida and the Whispered One right behind you.
And I've got a weapon that faces forward, or one that requires a resource I don't have any of right now. So I suppose
if you
I'm
do
going to have too much
flaw,
grog.
yes, there you go.
Eat me pantaloons, you pointy tooth. Ah. Again, a melting pewter mug that's slowly descending into a wad because of how noxious this grog is. He's just slurping down some more.
I heard that's safer to drink while you're driving.
I
No,
heard
we
you
did
shouldn't
not
drink and
endorse
drive because you could spill your drink.
Nice. Fat Mike from the crowd calls out, "Yeah!"
Oh, what a set. Seriously, he partied too hard.
You must roll your special attack against the T-Rex.
Oh, must I? Roll my special against it, or my durability?
What did you... Oh, you were just passing it? You're not using a weapon against it?
Oh, I suppose I can use my super special. Arr, arr. I'm gonna slap the Tyrannosaurus Rex with my 2 aft tentacles.
And just like in the Colosseum of Nyanzaru, Julian beats a T-Rex.
I didn't spiralize this one. That's only for special occasions.
Yeah. Behind you, you can hear the voice of the Whispered One, and it speaks into your minds. I never play by the rules. Come to my tomb of annihilation. And everything goes black all around him. Each of you are reduced to 1 HP and must make a durability check.
Snake eyes.
Pip, no! Fellas, I have a hard stop at 9:30. I gotta get going.
Pip, I'll wrap it up. Pip fades into the black with the Whispered One as his hands clutch him.
No!
The trophy ceremony is held at Castle Red Rock, where all of your friends and family, living and dead, rejoice and celebrate you, the Ironhearts. Uncle Archie is opening a bottle of champagne and showering you with it. Claudius lights a cigar, which is put out by the champagne. Musharib and Hugh Hackenstone are arm in arm, cheerleading and singing with their dinosaurs and monkeys, holding hands and dancing in circles behind them. Professor Owlbear winks at you with his monocled eye as you all recede from your dream back to the Tomb of Annihilation, which we will be playing in approximately a week and a day from now. Thank you, everyone, for playing this special episode of the IronKarts.
Woo!
Until
Great
next
game,
time.
though. Happy tabletop day.
Happy table.
Happy
Toodaloo.
tabletop
See you
day,
later,
everybody.
folks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Maddie.
Later, Matt.
If you would like to see the Ironhearts previous episodes, visit the Nerdcrafty Network YouTube channel. We also have art and supplemental materials on the Nerdcrafty website and our Discord channel. Got some cool discussion panels that we did today that you'll be able to watch. And as always, I've got an ear open via the Ironhearts at nerdcrafty.com. It's been a long day. It's been a wonderful night. Everybody of the Ironhearts and here at Nerdcrafty, I really love having you guys here and playing silly games with me. The next Ironhearts live broadcast is June 12th at 5:30. Hope to see you all there.